Hey YouTube, Bob here. Got a copy of Punch-Out for the Wii, which most of you probably recognize. It's the most recent entry in the Punch-Out series for Nintendo systems. But today I wanted to take a look at a more rare game in the series, which is the limited edition gold version of Punch-Out for the Japanese Famicom. And I'm not an expert on the game, but from what I understand, Nintendo had this boxing game in development for its Japanese Famicom and also for the Nintendo Entertainment System in other parts of the world. And they had a feeling that it was going to be successful in the United States just because boxing is more of a popular sport. But in Japan it isn't quite as popular. So in order to get a feel for how successful this game would be in Japan, they released this limited edition gold copy of the game and released it as a prize for a Famicom-sponsored golf tournament, which is interesting to give a boxing game out as a prize for a golf tournament. But that's why on the back of the game you see Mario dressed in a golf uniform, and he's also pretty decked out in the United States flag, which is interesting. But anyway, this is the packaging for the game. It's not a standard Famicom release as far as the packaging goes. It's got a little bit different dimensions. Here you can see I've got it compared with Dr. Mario for the Famicom. It's definitely not as long, and it's a little bit taller. And you're going to see in a minute here that the cartridges are quite a bit different in shape and color in this instance too. So I'll take these out for you. I'll do the original Famicom game first. So Famicom games, just about all of them, open in a standard way. The game itself is in a plastic bag, contained inside a clear plastic tray. Then the manuals and the other inserts are included as well. The limited edition Punch-Out is a little bit different in its packaging. There is no inner tray. The dimensions of the box are pretty much the dimensions of the cartridge. It did, however, come with a bag to protect it. And then also included was the instruction manual and also a little leaflet detailing some of the items as they pertain to the golf tournament. And hopefully someday, as I progress in my studies of Japanese and hiragana and katakana, I will be able to read that. The manual itself is also entirely written in Japanese kana. A lot of the artwork that they show for Punch-Out is non-existent in the US releases of the game, which I thought was interesting. Mainly because they had the Mike Tyson's license in the United States, so I think they focused more on that than the anime-ish artwork that was included in this game. But anyway, here's a little bit more detail of the cartridge. It's gold, like The Legend of Zelda. And on the back, it's got the warning label. And the thing that I think is neat about this is they tried to mimic some of the style aspects of the North American and European Nintendo Entertainment System cartridges here. It's not an exact replica, but it does have some of those accents. And just to compare the two, I also have here a copy of the North American release of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. So you can see Mike Tyson's signature and mug is all over the packaging. And that's how they made this game a success in the United States. The game on its own is very fun by its own merits, but having a celebrity endorsement doesn't hurt. So included with this one is pretty much a standard issue for all NES games, should it care to come out, is the subscription card for the Nintendo Fun Club newsletter, the instruction manual, a poster, and what's unique to this game is it comes with a letter with a printed signature of Mike Tyson. It starts out, "Dear player," says things like, "Never be intimidated by someone regardless of appearance, never become angry, it will inhibit your ability, don't quit, all those tips for success, and then signed Mike Tyson, World Heavyweight Champion. So you guys can see, those of you who aren't familiar with NES cartridges, you can see some of the similar styling cues that the Japanese one took. But for whatever reason they decided to make it gold. It doesn't really fit anything as far as with what Punch-Out is all about, but maybe since this was given out as a prize for the golf competition, they thought that a prize should be gold. So it is actually gold. There is another version of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out without the Mike Tyson's license that expired shortly after this game was released, I believe, and then Mike Tyson became involved in some sort of scandal, I believe, so they wanted to take his name out of the game. And this game was re-released as just Punch-Out. And instead of Mike Tyson, Mr. Dream was the name of the final boxer that you would fight. This particular game, Punch-Out, the gold version, does not have Mike Tyson in it either. This was before they secured the license, and I believe Mike Tyson was probably not too well known inside Japan, so it wasn't really necessary to have him in there. But the absence of Mike Tyson is really the biggest difference between these two games. There are some other differences too, and I'm going to take some time to show you what those are. I'm going to show you first the Japanese limited edition gold version of the game, and then I will show you the what the variation is in the NES release from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.